Excited to buy that guitar online? Hold your horses. We got some extended warranties coming your way. Get your pocketbooks ready. We're taking some more money from you. Hey, it's me, Baxter.
And me, Jonathan.
We're here at Casino Guitars, and we are going to talk about the world of guitar manufacturing and how they've taken a note out of old Best Buy and Guitar Center and bring it right to your pocketbooks.
What could go wrong?
It's going to be a lot of fun. First, before we get started, click like and subscribe.
Hit the bell.
If you like this content, it's a lot of fun. I think it's fun.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
We enjoy making it.
It's a ridiculous question. Of course they like it.
So I was just browsing, and spoiler alert too, you just got to stay tuned. We have a great video on Jack White's Pano Verb coming out.
Ooh.
I think you should definitely click like and subscribe to join that.
Yes.
And hit a bell too to watch. Just stay tuned. It's cool. But I was noticing when I was going through it on Fender.com as well that there was a little section. I was like, oh, yeah, let's go to checkouts, check out all things. Like, wait, what is this? Extended warranty. 2, 3, 5 years. I was like, wait a minute. This is a new feature. I didn't notice this before. Have you ever noticed that before?
I have not.
It's new. So we've gone and checked other manufacturer sites too. I haven't found that yet, but Fender's usually the first to lead.
Right.
It's not always the best thing we put into our trenches. Sometimes they crush it. They're engineers and entrepreneurs and ingenues of newness in this industry. But this sort of caught me funny because I was like, well, what about Fender used to have a 5-year amp warranty.
That's what I remember, right?
Standard 5-year amp
yes.
warranty. That is no more. It's now a 2-year amp warranty, which is fine. I get it. Things are hard to repair, and they don't want to deal with it, I guess. So I went through all of Fender's repairs. So it's pretty much a 2-year across the board.
Is that everything now?
For
Guitars,
everything. Cables have full lifetime limited warranty.
Okay, all right.
Which is kind of cool. I didn't know that, actually. So like if you have a cable, Fender cable, like you can handle it with Fender, and then you get a new cable.
Says that on our little packages. Those things are tricky, right? You never know how easy it is to like make good on the old
It's tricky because you can't just bring that into the store.
Right.
Like, because you've experienced this with, well, anyway, we'll get into that in a minute.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
That's coming. That's around the... So, X-Cover is owned by Cover Genius, which is a very fast-growing insurance type of group. They've raised over $80 million in the past year alone to expedite their growth cycle.
That's something.
It's a lot of freaking money.
80 million's all right.
It's a lot of freaking money. It makes me want to cuss when I say that much money. It's just, that's more money than we're going to make this week.
Absolutely. That's a fair statement.
I want everyone to understand like the realities of the guitar business. It's not as much as you think. It's like $40 million a week's about where you want to settle. Anyway, so they mostly cover travel insurance. They supplement to health insurance, it looks like. They have a huge dossier of their partners, and now Fender's on there, which I thought was funny, but it's huge. Now, I've looked at the review cycles as well, because that's important. It's not very positive, a lot so far. But I look at that with the slate that most people that leave reviews are not leaving positive reviews, right?
I'm gonna play both sides here. So like that is 1,000% true, right? There's very few people who are just like, let's go say something. My wife is one of those people, but I realize that she's rare. She's weird. She's rare.
Weird, she's strange.
She's all delightful and whatever. They've also had a bad go with some product, so they're irritated. So
yes.
That being said, I feel like most of these companies.
No, and I haven't. There's no reviews from their MI experience with
right.
musical instruments and Fender and the brands they're working with there. Fender's the only major, but it's mostly it's usually travel stuff where your vacation's been ruined, so you're pissed already.
I'm sure sometimes it works out, but my limited experience with these things is that they make it very difficult to actually get in touch with someone and get your claim settled, right?
Well, we'll get into the logistics of it too, because let's just say you have a 2-year warranty with your product that you buy. Let's say you add the 5-year warranty on top of it. The 5-year warranty, I do not believe it. This is how it's always been. Does not kick in after those 2 years.
It's not 70. It's not 5 plus 2. It's
you have 5
overlap.
and 2 on top.
So you got 3 extra.
So you have 2 through the company you buy it from, sort of, and
double
you have 5. But the whole idea of selling this is that it takes it off of the hand of the manufacturer to not have to deal with customer complaints.
Right.
And so then they just don't want to deal. They're going to get a percentage of it. It's a monetary aspect too, but it also just takes off the troubling issues of having to deal with customer returns.
I would be interested to know if you buy the 5-year, right, and they're overlapping, and you bring it back to them within that first 2 years. Did they just take care of it, or are they going to pawn you off on the ex cover or whoever? You know what I'm saying? Like, you would still hope that, like in this case, like Fender, that if it's in that first 2 years, that they just deal with it.
Well, this is the tricky part, because this is where, like, it affects, me a little bit personally, and you personally, and like us, and then business wise too. Like, we look at this as, if there's an issue with one of the guitar things or amps or guitars that we sell to one of our customers, we want to be able to make it right.
Yes.
And this happens. This is just, it's manufacturing. Things go wrong. It's shipping. Things go wrong. We want to fix it. We want to have the opportunity to fix it, make sure you're happy. And also, let's say you have an amp for a year or so and you bring in, it used to be like we would try to facilitate it for you, which is, now that it's the DTC universe, direct to consumer, direct to customer.
Right.
It's different. So Fender or the manufacturer, Gibson or Taylor or Martin, will have to load that burden. We used to, but we'd also have the opportunity to help you, and A, B, sell you maybe something else. That's just part of the business. Like, you come in, you're going to see the cool new guitar.
Right.
We have the opportunity. That sort of takes it out of the retail hands, which, I look at it as a direct negative, obviously, because it kills the dealer network. Another sort of attempt to, instead of servicing the greater good of the guitar industry.
Right.
Now, let's jump back to where you've worked in the Guitar Center universe before.
I have.
Did they ever have something
the
like
GC verse pro coverage? Da-da!
Was it the greatest thing ever?
Absolutely, it's amazing.
And
nothing ever goes wrong. I mean, I don't know, and we can be honest here because we're talking about Guitar Center. I can't think of not one person that I know that's ever worked for Guitar Center that was like, man, I just love pushing pro coverage on customers. It was amazing. You know what I mean?
I was going to ask you this question. Like, how did you feel having the dictate of having to sell that?
I don't think anyone loves that, right? Okay. And like, there's a thing where you have to sell a certain percentage, like with your commission and all that kind of stuff, right? And I mean, at the same time that was going on, there was like String Club and Stick Club and all this junk and, selling pro coverage. And I don't think anyone loved pushing that stuff. But it was just part of the deal. Now, the thing about the pro coverage, right, is it says, oh, it's going to cover this, and it covers all this accidental stuff, and it's this and it's that. Maybe it does, but I think you walk into Guitar Center and you say, oh, I have this problem.
That's what I would think.
And then they just take it back. No, once it's pro coverage, the company, which I think is Assyrian or Assyrian, however you say it.
That was fun. I enjoyed that. Don't worry about it. We're just moving on.
They hand you a little pamphlet and they're like, okay, well, call this number and they'll get you sorted out. So it's kind of weird. It seems almost like a weird cop-out. And again, I don't know any local GC employee who thinks that's awesome.
Well, and then we looked into this too. I was trying to file a claim for a Fender product this morning, and I have to do it digitally.
Yeah.
There is no way to talk to a real human being. Because that's what I sort of got. That was my first red flag when I looked at the reviews. We've spent weeks trying to talk to a person. There is no person to talk with. They've asked us to submit all sorts of crazy documents. For the travel stuff, we need birth certificates. We need like marriage licenses. They're like, whoa. We were just trying to go to Italy. It's like.
Well, that's the thing. You don't know what you're gonna need. I mean, I remember when like Monster Cables.
Yes.
Stopped going to like where you just brought them back into the GC or wherever you bought it and they gave you a new one, right? It was like you had to have your receipt and all this stuff. And I get it. They probably lost a ton of money.
I saw people that were like just breaking them worse on purpose just to make sure.
Right. But I don't even mind that if I could call them and say, hey, here's my problem. It's almost impossible to do that, right? It's this crazy loop you get in where, oh, go to our website. Oh, we'll call this number. Oh, you'll get quicker results on the website. So go back to the website. And you never get a person. You can never get the RA number to send the cable back. So it kind of makes it impossible. There's those Paradigm strings that our boss says they're unbreakable. I tried them. I broke one the absolute first gig. I thought, I'm going to get a new pack of strings. You got to have both parts of the original string.
Wait, what?
That you broke. Yeah. So I'm like, well, the ball end is somewhere on stage. Yes.
Wow. Anyway.
So hopefully you thought to put your little broken string in the baggie. Whatever. Fine. But none of these things ever seem to work out as quick and easy as they say.
It's a buyer beware thing. Like I've never been a fan. Like I still like Best Buy. I still like to go in there and sort of shop around. It's fun. But even they're like, do you want to get pro coverage? Like no, nobody's like yes. They don't want to sell it to you. It's a third party. It's not the company you're buying it from. Be aware of that.
And I will even say, to Guitar Center's credit, right? I think the pro coverage does cover things.
Yes.
It's just an extra hassle. It's not as easy as you think.
And we don't know. And I would say to this, that I've had excellent experience with Fender taking care of all this stuff. Like whenever we have something for a customer that's an issue, immediately taken care of.
They do take care of it.
Their service department is king as far as getting it takes a little time.
It takes some time, but it's great if you're a customer and you're doing it that way because we usually deal with the headache of it for you.
Because that way you're not having to, and sometimes we have to remind them because they are people.
And
they've got a computer like whatever this monstrosity is. No offense to Cover Genius and all of what you guys have probably done a great job, but from looking at the affiliate links, I was sort of scrolling through their whole affiliate pages, and I was like, good Lord, there's a lot.
It's a lot of folks.
Yeah, it's a lot. So I'm not even gonna look at that again. It was just too much. I can't even go to that page. But and I had to load more. And I was like, wow. So I can see where they raised $80 million really quickly.
I mean,
and you got to remember, an insurance company's job is not to really help. Sometimes it's to get the payments and not make payouts. So I have a hate
relationship
with insurance most of the time. That anytime something goes wrong, it doesn't really pay out. It's
I've had some insurance battles lately, but
I remember yours.
I know some amazing dudes who are insurance agents.
One of my good friends.
They're helpful.
He's helpful, but we still.
But they're not making off of this. You know what I mean? They're kind of giving you the best advice they can give you.
The claims adjuster comes and is like, no, this is on you. I will say, as far as the cool thing, we were supposed to be in San Diego right now at Taylor Guitars.
Right now.
Right at this moment, we would be actually meeting with Andy Powers at this very time. Well, sort of in a few hours.
On surfboards in the ocean.
That was the plan, and it'll happen eventually. Hopefully in November. But no, our flights got all screwed up. We had to cancel it. Derek called American Airlines and got, I think, all of our flight credits put back onto our Advantage numbers.
Well, that's cool.
So we can, so Taylor Guitars won't be out that money for flying us out there that didn't fly us out there. But it was a really pretty easy process because we got a person on. Because we were trying to do it through like the digital thing, and it was just a loop again.
That makes all the difference.
It's like, and it was literally done in less than 4 minutes. So it was like 4 minutes of a person's time, fixed what could have been a weeks-long process of emails. And
that was sort of like when my luggage got lost on my last flight when I went to Canada or whatever. And I talked to this lady in the airport. She was like, hey, we're going to deliver it to your house, but do this online just in case. I never got anywhere online, and I kind of thought my suitcase was gone forever. And then it just showed up in my house. But I think if I had to talk to that lady, probably would all have been gone, because she's a person and she wrote stuff down, and I was like, okay, I think you've taken care of me.
No,
it's hard to know on that.
It's tricky, and I've never dealt with this, but my advice too is like, I don't really care where you buy the guitar from, where you buy the amp from. Like, I just want you to buy it from a dealer that you love and that you want to support and that you think has your back. Because I'd say almost 90% of the dealers out there are that. And they want to take care of you. They love guitars and the guitar game. That's why they got into this.
Yeah.
It's not because they're trying to make millions of dollars. They're trying to provide a living for their family, have a great staff and team, and get through the business cycle. And, support those guys. Support your local shops. And if you have a problem, they will take care of you. They'll help you expedite it. That's what shops are there for, and that's what they'll still be there for even when all these companies are trying to have the computer gods from above.
That's right.
Take it all from you. No, that's my thoughts. Those are my closing sense. Got anything else there, Johnny?
That's it.
It's important. So stay tuned. Again, click like, subscribe.
Hit the bell.
Thank you for being viewers of this for so long. If you've been here for a while, and thank you for just joining us for the first time. This is your first time joining us. It's kind of fun. It's a good time. Stay tuned for some really cool videos. We got some new toys that we're gonna be making some cool stuff.
Oh, if you're going to, just out of just last minute, you're probably gone by now. But if you're going to see David Crowder at the old Pickwick State Landing in Western Tennessee this weekend, I'll be there with Robbie Cummings. So come say hello.
Really?
Yeah.
It's the first time I've heard of this.
It sneaks up on me. I forget about it.
That's really neat. And Johnny's played a great show last night that we were all, it was a singer-songwriter thing with these two other weird guys. They just got on prison release, but they were good. They might be in the studio later today to shoot some videos.
Surprise.
And one of them has a fossil hunting YouTube channel.
It's wild.
It is wild. It's crazy. And he writes some mean boning songs.
Songs about all sorts of things, mostly geography.
Geography. It is geography. Anyway,
there's a lot of geography.
So stay tuned.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys soon.
Goodbye.
Peace be with you.